I like to call it as a Swiss Army knife of aviation because it really can be turned to anything that it's needed.
The Hercules aircraft, a versatile and reliable workhorse for the RAF. It played a part in every major conflict following its introduction in December 1966.
The Herc's an amazing aeroplane. I would say that, wouldn't I? Awesome is a great word as well. But what it is a really rugged beast.
But the Hercules aircraft didn't start off its life with the RAF. It began service with the US Air Force 10 years earlier in 1956 and immediately played a significant part in the Vietnam War by dominating airlift operations. It transported troops, equipment and supplies to remote and challenging terrains. That versatility set it apart, making it an indispensable asset.
It's got these massive big spongy tyres, so one of the things it can do, it was fairly straightforward to fly, but it was so flexible. So landing, taking off from rough surfaces like the grass, the ice, the snow, jungle, unprepared strips, lots in the desert, as you can imagine. So brilliant at that, but also brilliant at dropping stuff from small, loads, resupplying special forces or other troops, right up to dropping parachutists from low levels to high levels and dropping huge loads as well.
By the 1960s, the RAF was in need of a replacement for two of its aircraft. The Blackburn Beverley, a heavy-lift transport plane capable of operating from unprepared airstrips, and the Handley Page Hastings, which had played a crucial role in the Berlin airlift. The Hercules was the preferred choice to meet the RAF's evolving transport needs. During the Falklands conflict in 1982, it was the first RAF aircraft into action. The Hercules flown during the Falklands conflict was the C-130K, but by 1993 the Ministry of Defence wanted to upgrade it. So what to go with? They stuck with the Hercules, but this time they went with the C-130J, an upgraded and improved next generation machine. This one on show here for the last time at an air show before its retirement. And Cosford Air Show is where I met former Hercules pilot Simon Footer to hear about his experiences of flying it.
Bosnia was a big thing for the Hercules and the tactical flying because we were going into a place, it was humanitarian aid, lots of it, working with other nationalities, but going into Sarajevo from either Italy or Croatia with loads every sort of half hour, an hour. But there were people who didn't want us there. This was a threat environment, it was dangerous. Aeroplanes were shot at.
In fact, Sarajevo posed such a risk to aircraft that aircrews routinely used combat-style landings to avoid being hit, descending sharply to prevent becoming an easy target.
You would land into Sarajevo and there'd be smoke coming. It was a dreadful place during that time. From good old Albert, as we call it, the Herc was driving in and out there. On the Air Force side, 2,000 times we went in there. And the thing survived. We survived, the aeroplane survived, and it's credited to this beast that, we didn't lose anybody and we managed to survive.
The Hercules had more than one success story. Its remarkable versatility was showcased prominently in Afghanistan. When the safety of road transportation was compromised, troops on the front line depended on the Hercules for crucial supplies. It also formed part of the air bridge into theatre and was used to transport injured personnel. Time moved on, but the popularity of the Hercules never wavered, and that's because the workhorse of the RAF continued to play a key role in operations right up until retirement.
So during my tenure over the last 2 years, we've been involved in quite a few different operations. So just as I arrived, we were just finishing Operation Pitting, where we did the final evacuation flights from Kabul in Afghanistan, and then since then, we've been quite heavily involved in loads of different exercises. Operation Fortis last year, where we supported the Carrier Strike Group. And more recently, we've been involved in Operation Greenlighter, which was in response to the Turkey earthquakes on the Turkey-Syria border. And then most recently, the final thing that we've been doing has been Operation Polar Bear, which was the evacuation of entitled persons from Sudan.
So the Hercules pulled its weight right up to retirement.
I've served here for 2 years on 47 Squadron. After just 2 years, it is an absolute gut-wrenching feeling to not only be retiring the Hercules, but also retiring the squadron as well. And 47's got a huge, rich history, and the standard is now just resting for the next most appropriate unit to take it on. For me, I've really enjoyed the aircraft. really enjoyed being part of the closure process as well, but I do wish I could have had a little bit more time with it. Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
Sad, but times have to move on. You know, the aeroplane gets older, we get older. We've got a fantastic new aeroplane coming in to replace it. You know, will it ever replace? Of course, in my view, I'm emotional about this, so, you know, it will. It's very capable, the Atlas A400, but I have to salute this thing and say what an amazing job it's done and what amazing capability it's been. So sad, yes, but let's celebrate the change and move on.
The Hercules bid farewell to its time with the Royal Air Force with a 7-hour tour of the UK. Its versatility and reliability over the course of 56 years solidifying its place in history as one of the aviation greats. Claire Sadler, Forces News. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.